So it's not the largest of gardens, but manageable, I think they say.
Yeah.
What do you reckon it's on the market for?
290,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
I was thinking somewhere close to that as well, at 285.
Currently, it's on the market for £299,950.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's top end of the budget. You'd have 50 quid to spend.
I suppose that's more or less what I'd have expected, I think, for the property.
Like this,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you could have a look around, see if you can make the downstairs work for you, and I'll wait for you outside in the rain. I'm all hard. See you in a bit. At £50 short of their top budget of £300,000, this charming property offers all the character they're after, along with a country kitchen, a utility room, 3 bedrooms, an outside office space, and a pretty and manageable garden.
It was very good to find the office out in the garden. That would be very useful either for John to work in or for me to see customers.
Yeah, the house, it has the period chime we're after. It's, it's an aged, the main part is 300 years. That's old, that's good. We're getting away from, what we've lived in the past. But this is around about right, yeah, and it feels good.
See you enough?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Come on then, let's get in the car. The West Somerset coastline offers some of the most breathtaking landscapes in Britain, as Exmoor gives way to the scattering of historic villages that hug its cliffs. Lying on the west coastal path, the village of Porlock may be a haven for leisure boats and fishing vessels today, but historically it was a seaport used to transport local timber to South Wales. Any visit to Porlock by road is certainly memorable, thanks to the incredibly steep hill. With a gradient of 1 in 4, early motorcars found it completely impassable. In the late 1920s, however, during reliability tests, the car finally made a record number of ascents of the hill and was consequently named the Singer Porlock. This part of Porlock's motoring heritage has been preserved here at the Doverhay Garage. With a collection of 24 vintage vehicles, it will certainly rev the engines of car enthusiasts John and Penny. We sent them to meet owner Stephen Johns, who offered them a chance to get up close to Porlock's unique motoring heritage.
So how did you start this collection?
Well, it's a long tale, but for 45 years I was a pyjama manufacturer, till I got more sense and decided to sell my business up in Yorkshire. And, we escaped to the country, came down here. But I'd always been interested in collecting. Had a very large-scale collection at one stage, always cars. Gradually got more and more, and here it is. The first car I bought was a lovely little butcher's van, and it's a super little thing. I was going to repaint it. It came from Fay-le-Bois, and has the butcher's name on, but it was so beautifully painted that I thought, no, I'm going to leave it as it is.
Stephen has around 3,500 visitors viewing his collection every year, and he's helped with the day-to-day running of the garage by 5 volunteers who share his motoring enthusiasm, just like John.
I hear you've got a bit of a passion for hill climbing, a member of the Bugatti Owners Club?
Yes, yeah, I do enjoy hill climbing, and I noticed you've got a Type 40 behind us.
Yes, rather a nice Bugatti here. I think you'd like to take that up the hill. But I've got a little vehicle up at the top, which has got a bit of hill climbing history, so shall we go and have a look at it?
Okay.
Stephen's record-setting model of the Singer Porlock sports car is one of around half a dozen left in the world.
In 1928, 2 mad guys decided they'd try and take this model up Porlock Hill, which is a quarter of a mile down the road, 100 times in the day, which they did successfully. But I actually bought it about 6 years ago. They're quite a rare car, and I'm so delighted to have brought it back home to Porlock, where it belongs.
The car that Stephen actually takes out on the road most regularly is an 8-horsepower Wolseley, a British car dating back to 1904. And as there's only room for 1 passenger, John's the lucky one, taking a spin.
There's just one thing, John, before we go. You've got to look the part. There's the hat.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Okay.
was through this countryside that the poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge used to walk from his home at Nether Stowey, and there's now a 36-mile footpath called the Coleridge Way. With this classic road trip fulfilling one dream for John, it's time to shift up a gear as we head back to our search for the perfect property for him and Penny. For our second house, we've journeyed across the border into Devon and the beautiful village of Clistheiden, which is situated in countryside just a couple of miles from the M5 and a mere 35 minutes drive from Penny's parents in Exeter. This friendly community has all sorts of events taking place at the village hall, from keep fit to flower arranging. It also has its own swimming pool and cricket club. And if you fancy some pub grub, then you can head to the 16th century thatched inn. Well, you certainly wouldn't know it to look at it, but just like our previous house, Prt2 is actually around 300 years old. But as our buyers will see, the old part blends in well with the modern extension. Come on in. What do you think?
Yes, I like it. Just looking at it straight away.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's not as pretty looking as the older stone cottage of the first house.
That's
but
true.
It's,
Grant you that, but, you know, on first impressions, it's good.
Semi-detached, so...
yes,
how you
not
feel
a
about
problem.
That's not
Not
a
a
problem.
problem, no.
Not a problem.
Cool. I like it when you say that. Should we get in?
Yep.
Come on. Not a bad reaction from the outside, I think. But if John and Penny were hoping for a bit more character, then this property has some lovely touches. Come on in.
Wow.
It's a very modern kitchen, isn't it?
It is a very modern kitchen.
I like this.
Do you?
Yeah,
Very
with
good.
all the modern look.
So
I
you-
like the beams in here and the range cooker over there with the beam across.
Yeah.
It's one you can socialise in as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You just move then, from here into the other part of the house or just stay in here.
Yes,
It's great.
a very social kitchen.
The kitchen also has a small adjoining utility room, which Penny will appreciate. And the dining room is the perfect place to entertain. And you could say the same for our next reception room. So this is the old bit of the house. And this is the living room.
Wow.
Yes, that's very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the beams in here.
This is the most
Yeah.
positive you have been so far. You know that, don't you? You've come into this room with gusto. You like it?
I do.
has
I
good
like this.
beams.
Yeah, it feels. I don't know whether it is. Well, it's wider, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
it
feels
is.
a bit
It
bigger.
is.
What about the functionality of the layout here? I presume that you wouldn't be able to run your business in the dining room or anything like that because it's all open plan, isn't it?
Yes, I wouldn't be able to shut the dogs away in a separate room. But I suppose that could be changed by adding
Yeah, some
doors.
doors.
Or
But if you didn't want to do that, if you like the whole open plan aspect of it, there is the garage,
Yeah.
which is plastered with PowerPoints, the lot. So,
Yeah.
basically put a window and a door in there and you've got your own business away from the
Yeah.
house.
The main
Would be very
yeah,
handy.
the house, that could be. Yeah.
We've given them one option for a work-from-home study. There's also another one upstairs where there are 2 spare bedrooms. Both have a lot of light and high ceilings, those characteristic exposed timbers, so either could definitely have future office potential. There's also a very stylish slate-tiled bathroom. We're going to take a look at where Penny and John could be resting their weary heads. Currently this is the master bedroom.
I think this is actually smaller than I was expecting after seeing the other 2 rooms.
Okay.
But no, it's fine. It's light and it's got
it's
the.
no food.
I suppose because you've got this vaulted ceiling, there isn't a lot of storage space. You've just got, in 2 of the rooms, I think you've got a
Yeah.
little bit of storage. But I don't know how much stuff you'd need to store up there anyway.
Well, we had a loft conversion done anyway, so there's no attic anyways.
Okay, well, that's the house. And so far, so good, I think. You quite like it, don't you?
Do I like it very much?
Well, you like it very much.
Very much, yes.
Wow, oh, that's good. Well, I'm going to take Penny's reaction and run with it, as the garden offers plenty of wow factor too. It's mostly laid out as decking, with seating overlooking a pond. There's also a large brick barbecue. So this is very much a party place, I would say, wouldn't you?
it is the decking, yeah. This is,
What do you make of
come
it?
out for the house and
I'm not sure that I'd keep it all as a decked area.
I like the decking. I like a bit of decking.
I'm
There
not
we go.
too sure with quite so much.
Well, you've seen it all. You seem to be a lot more positive than you were about the first one.
Yes, even though it's old, it's got the slightly more modern look to it, and I much prefer the beams and things in this house.
What do you reckon it's on the market for?
Well, I think it's way over budget.
Okay.
I'll go with 325.
£325,000, okay.
And I'd say even higher than that,
Higher.
350.
£350,000, okay. It is currently on the market for £299,950.
That surprises me.
I'm surprised.
In a good way, obviously.
Well, yeah, very much so.
Has that changed something and made you like it even more?
Yeah, there's definitely things we could do to it.
Well, you put up with the decking?
She would now. So go and have a look at the property, go and have a look at the garage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll come and find you.
Okay.
Or you come and find me, whichever's easier. At £50 shy of their top budget of £300,000, this gorgeous property offers everything they asked for and more. It has loads of character with those great beams throughout, a large kitchen diner with a range cooker, a small utility room, 3 bedrooms, a garage which could be converted into an office or consulting room, and a very manageable garden.
This house, it's bordering on the edge of does it have enough character, doesn't it? Yeah, I think when you come inside, yes, it does. It has that modern feel to it with plenty of, character. The outside, perhaps not as much, but you can see that, yes, it is old, it's been extended, but, it's something I could live with.
I was very surprised that it was just under budget rather than over budget, especially in this area. So it's definitely made it worth thinking about.
Hours I've been out here doing that. That was 1,300,000. Yeah, anyway, who am I kidding? Seen enough?
Yep.
Yes?
Okay, it's been a lot to take in, hasn't it?
Yes.
So I think we should just call it a day, go back and regroup, and we'll start again tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
So as dusk falls over the stunning Somerset countryside, it marks the end of our first day of house hunting. After years living in a modern property in Gloucester, John and Penny are now hoping to trade up to a characterful home in the heart of the Somerset countryside, which offers them the potential to work from home and allows them to be closer to Penny's family. So far they've had mixed reactions to a pretty stone cottage and been charmed by the period features in our second home. But coming up, the mystery house really takes them by surprise.
It's different. I wasn't expecting this at all.
Good. And I roll out the Somerset barrel to see what they make here from the humble apple. And so begins a new day. We're in Somerset helping John and Penny find their dream period property, bursting with character and space, which as we found out yesterday is quite a tall order. First house we showed them had bags of charm, but the size wasn't to Penny's liking. Both of them seemed a lot more enamoured by the second, more modern house. So bring on the mystery property. It's modern living in the extreme. But will the open plan aspect have them both joyfully parting with the pennies? Or will John and Penny be parting with us? So we're off to the mystery property. You excited? Nervous?
Yes, looking forward to it.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you love it to be, Penny?
To have the utility room of the first house, the sort of rooms of the second house that we saw yesterday.
The garden of the first house with the the interior layout of the second house.
Right.
But
You're not asking a lot then. We've travelled around 12 miles north of Taunton to the village of Wemden, which is just a couple of miles from the nearest junction of the M5 and a 55-minute drive to Exeter. Among the amenities on offer are a local store with post office, an impressive church where you can also get coffee and a slice of cake, and there's also a pub with a B&B. The mystery house was once a dairy to the adjacent old farmhouse, which is also part of this development. As it's all on one level, this property combines plenty of downstairs space, which was high on their list, with the character features they've been longing for.